Welcome to Before the Bat, the Gotham podcast, your guide to the TV show Gotham and all things Batman. I am Phil, and joining me this week is...
Tyler, the legend, the myth, the man.
Kelly is still on a secret mission at band camp. She will return soon.
Yep. Covert Ops Kelly. That's what we call her. Covert Kelly.
I've been calling her Fitz, like from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Fitz.
Yeah, there you go.
It's in her last name, Fitz.
It works. It fits.
Oh, Kelly.
Oh, man. So, Gotham, Mad City, the Red Queen. Were you a little disappointed when you found out the Red Queen wasn't a person? I was.
Yeah, but I mean, it's, Alice in Wonderland, Mad Hatter centric.
Yeah, I'm still... There's little things I like about this Mad Hatter, but I'm still not 100% sold on him as the Mad Hatter. But I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling. But from the very beginning of this episode, I love that Valerie Vale is smart. Mm-hmm. And she just tells Jim, we're done. You picked Lee. We're done. And Jim's like, no, that's not it.
No, baby, I love you.
But so there you go, Jim. Backfire. Now you're single again. Back to when you're all black. Bounty hunter, Jim.
Well, not for long, but yes.
Yes.
I don't know. When you were talking about the Hatter, do you feel like they're overusing him maybe a little bit?
Yeah.
Like every episode? Yeah. Like, bring him in, have him come in for 2 or 3 episodes, take like another 2 or 3 episodes off, bring him back in.
It's just a really long arc. Like we talked about, I mean, in season 1, the Ogre felt like they were trying to fill her because they got a larger order of episodes. Mm-hmm. So that was that went on a little long. And I feel with the Mad Hatter, they're just milking it. Without having to build up anything else, they're just using as much of him as they can until they have to. But what I always think is funny is, all right, so the Hatter's causing problems in Gotham, but nobody else is. There's no other crime going on, just the Hatter.
I mean, unless he's the major one.
Just in this precinct,
Yeah, I mean, I guess Fish is laying low, and Oswald's the mayor now.
What I think is interesting is each time I watch an episode of Gotham, it's like sometimes I feel like, all right, this is kind of Burton's Batman-ish. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, this is kind of Schumacher-ish. To me, this episode is kind of Schumacher-ish.
Yeah, maybe a little. Yeah.
Just that, not Batman and Robin Schumacher, but more Batman Forever. Just the whole scene, who is this major chemist, drug dealer that the Mad Hatter finds? And he just all of a sudden he's puts the Red Queen into his face. I'm like, dude, if you're selling that deadly a product, don't just have it out like that. Just asking for trouble.
Wear a gas mask, something.
I'm just like, come on, man.
Yeah, how would you trust any of these guys?
But we got a good old Eddie sitting on the porch, talking riddles and waiting for the morning paper with Isabella.
So is she what she appears to be, or is she a resurrected Miss Kringle, or is she a clone?
There's something. I mean, it's too weird there's something not to be with all the people that escaped Indian Hill, and so far the only one that's causing problems is Mad Hatter, but he really wasn't in Indian Hill. Mm-hmm. So
I'm just worried that they're gonna, she's just gonna be, just coincidentally a twin, and then she's gonna get killed by the Hatter or somebody, and Eddie's gonna go off the deep end.
She wasn't killed by Oswald. What are you talking about? As soon as Eddie said, "I've met someone," all I could think was, she's a dead woman. I mean, Oswald, look, he went ahead and he did all that setup. He went and told her about Eddie. He told her about, he was in Arkham. Not that I was in Arkham too, but, yeah, Eddie was in Arkham. He did all this setup to try to break him up. Mm-hmm. I mean, she didn't tell it she's crazy about Eddie. I mean, they just met and she's making paper dolls of him. Yeah, something's off.
Or she's just crazy.
Well, it works in this world.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
But I mean, I good.
I was gonna say the interesting thing I wanted to get your take on was Jim's hallucinations. Like his guide through his hallucinations was your buddy Barbara.
They had to give her something to do this episode, and I think it was kind of neat that it was her.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think this episode could have been a little bit cooler, maybe if they had taken a step back and focused more on Jim and the hallucinations. Like you could have almost done this whole episode as like a journey for Jim.
Mm-hmm.
We could have. I mean, since this show is like a multi-actor show where they don't put everybody in every episode, you could have left off with the last episode with Nigma meeting Isabel, and this one starts off with like the Hatter at the thing, and then the Hatter hits Jim, and the majority of the episode is Jim tripping. You know, he's with Barbara, he's seeing all these different things. Because I mean, since we're talking about Jim, I liked when we got to see and he got to talk with Jim's dad.
Yeah.
He talked about the Gordon family motto. And I don't know about you, Phil, but I feel like I need to come up with a family motto for my family. You know, we need a crest.
Mm-hmm.
We need our own specialized jewelry. But I felt like we could have learned more about, because I mean, they talked about Jim being a war hero, but we've never seen any of that. We could have actually got a real flashback type of Jim, not him in the trenches with like Penguin.
It seemed very the whole flashback thing seemed very goes to Christmas past and present and all that. But
yes,
no, what I wanted
led by Barbara.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's why I wanted to ask you that. The whole thing with Barbara. Do you think it's because he isn't over Barbara completely, or do you think he just sees Barbara as like the personification of the devil because the elevator was going down?
I think a combination. I think he might feel guilty about Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was something he could have done. He could have seen coming that he didn't do anything for her. I kind of want Jim to hook back up with Barbara and just like have just that complete like moment of I love Lee, but I'll take you. And she gets pregnant with Batgirl. But that's another story.
Yeah, but you still got to deal with Tabitha.
Oh, Tabitha and Butch. See, they weren't even in this episode.
They haven't been there for a while.
Saving them for, to come back at the end of the season.
Maybe mid-season.
It just, this whole episode, like, Jim needs to be a cop. And, like, that whole thing with him and his dad is making him realize, yes, he should be a cop. Why is it that he's running from it? And I liked the part of Jim just kind of going through his whole trip.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's a question I had for you. What if Mario becomes Holiday?
Maybe. Or some killer. Yeah.
Or his sister shows up and something more with that whole Falcone kind of this thing going on there.
Or even if he isn't planning on it and just like the Hatter like drives him insane and turns him into a killer or something like that.
I'll take it. What I forgot is during Jim's whole trip, I thought it was interesting how he saw Bruce, and Bruce was wearing that mask.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a little foreshadowing of just the fact that Bruce wears a mask.
Oh, I was waiting for like a shot of like Batman or something like Batman in those hallucinations.
Yeah, just put a giant bat silhouette like. But I did like good old Bruce Wayne, the chef, getting ready for his day.
Trying to impress his woman, yeah.
I mean, Selena cleans up really nice for a girl who lives on the streets.
Oh yeah, I mean most of the time she looks pretty pretty clean and like she hasn't been sleeping in a abandoned tenement or something.
So I mean, and since we're talking about good old Brucey, she shows up. He thinks he's all stood up, and then she shows up. He's all upset, and then they admit that this is kind of odd for both of them. They don't know what to do. It was cute, and Alfred. I like Alfred's like, I'll be within earshot with the lights on. And that's
Bruce says you're fired.
And that was pretty much Bruce for this episode, which is fine. Like, we don't need a huge thing every episode, but I like that at least we got something, and the whole him and Selena and where that's trying to go, and that he does really care for her, and we didn't get any more clone Bruce, so I mean he's been missing.
And they both admitted it was weird, which it is.
You're extremely rich, and I'm extremely poor.
I just saw pictures. What was it, this morning? Maybe I think it's like 2 episodes from now. It looks like there's a big storyline with Bruce, Selena, and looks like maybe Ivy's in there too.
That'll be interesting. Because I mean, are they saving Ivy for the back half? Like, I don't know. The structure is weird. Like, they keep placing her in there awkwardly. I mean, now that Valerie's gone, as Jim opened, like, Jim's now single. He's gonna start dating.
Oh no.
Pamela. Is she going to change her name to Pamela? So, I don't know. I just think that Barnes is about to punch his clock. I like how Barnes escalated what extreme police brutality looks like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I'm just waiting for him to thing out.
I know. I keep looking for some sort of clobbering, hit, fight.
But you think... I wonder, do you think he's out the door? Although I've thought that several times already, and he keeps surviving. So
he should. I mean, I think Barnes in ways outlived his character usefulness.
And Jim's back in there now. Spoiler alert: Jim's a cop again.
And I thought, is Oswald going to make Jim the commissioner out of something where he thinks he has Jim kind of in his pocket? Since because there was an episode where they referenced that. I can't fire you, but we can appoint a commissioner that will.
Yeah, I mean it sounds cool, but do we want that end game already?
And Julie, like, is he dreaming it's the 1950s? I mean, when you dream, Phil, do you imagine you and Danielle and Luca back in the past or some other time period or the future? You know, I kind of dream about now, but
yeah,
whatever.
I don't know, unless that's like his idealized thing. Is like, I've known people who've been like, oh, I wish I could live in the 1950s. Unless he was thinking of his own childhood or something. I don't know.
See, I was waiting to see it kind of be like this little blend of like he's imagining Lee and his kid, but then it slips to where he's like his dad since he is tripping on drugs. Yeah. And like I expected like the kid to be named Jim and stuff just because like it kind of blended since it is a drug trip.
I think it's just another. I think it's just like the timeless. You know, they never want to show us like exactly what time period the show takes place in. So,
and I'm cool with that. I don't mind that being like this hyper reality timeline. It's kind of neat. Okay, so in my notes as I'm watching this, I wrote down, where are the owls? And right as I write that down, Oswald meets Catherine. And I was like, yay, one of the owls. I'm like, where are they at? They need to do something.
Oh, I wonder if they're going to try to get Oswald to join them.
He is a penguin. Like, I love how it's just all birds. Robin, bat. Well, bats aren't birds, but you know what I mean? Like owls, penguins, robins. The list goes on and on.
It's a zoo. But, what was I going to say? I had a point and I just lost it. But yeah, it'd be cool if they try to get Oswald to join the Owls. But no, I'm thinking they're going to bring the Court of Owls in probably big. They're probably going to be part of like the mid-season finale or something. Watch, that's probably when they're going to try to replace Bruce.
Yeah.
Bruce and Selena are going to get close, and then all of a sudden they're going to switch him out for Clone Bruce.
And then Clone Bruce is going to take on his own identity as a vigilante called Heretic. Yeah.
Number 5.
Now, what did you think? I know we're kind of jumping around a little bit, but what do you think about the end? Did you think it was a little tacky? A little, like, seriously?
I'm blanking here. What are you talking about?
Well, they kind of alluded to the fact that Jim's dad's alive and he's part of the Owls.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to think. I'm like, is that him or is it... I don't know. Yeah, you saw the whole ring, but I was like,
Or is it, or is there something more? You know, because we were led to believe that Falcone had Jim's dad killed.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just kind of like, I don't know. It's one of those things. Like, I hate when you introduce something in an episode,
Mm-hmm.
and then you already change it in that episode. So we introduce his father's ring and the whole Gordon coat of arms / mantra.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the episode, we reveal an Al's wearing it.
I don't know if like either that maybe that's another relative or that's the guy who killed Jim's dad. But yeah, watching it be Jim's. That's the thing I don't like about like when they do like these these prequels that go season for season, because then you get all this weird stuff thrown in with like Jim Gordon's dad. And
yeah, I would prefer it to be the killer of Jim's dad.
Mm-hmm.
I just really don't want it to be cliche of Jim's dad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just was like, if they had waited, it's one of those things like if you could have set it up in the future where season 1, season 2, we see Jim with the ring,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden season 3, we see. I hate when they try to retcon stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you watched Smallville, didn't you, Phil?
Oh yeah.
Like, my friend over at the Always Hold On to Smallville podcast, we were joking and talking about the whole season 7 Veritas retcon they tried to do.
Mm-hmm.
And just like when you watch the early episodes, you're like, no, there is no way you're gonna make. And it feels so weird, like it's such a retcon. And I'm like, if you had that much like foresight into something, like if they had more foresight into Jim and had the ring from the beginning, it would have been nice. But I hate they introduce it, and then at the very end they're like, see, look, this Al has the ring.
Well, yeah, that was the whole thing. It's why it showed up in the hallucination. Is they're like, oh, look, is that Jim's dad? But yeah, It wasn't in season 1 because they just had the idea.
I want to see a Talon, like a really good Talon, and I want them to, if you're gonna do the court, man, do this. Okay, make me happy. Go back to Haley Circus.
Mm-hmm.
Touch on Haley Circus. Touch on the fact that you use Mr. Freeze's technology to help preserve Talons. Like, really dig in as much as you can, because the whole Court of Owls thing is such a rich, thick, well thought out mythology that you could really help pad Gotham with more. So, but overall, what do you think of this episode?
It was good. I mean, the hallucinations, especially the stuff with Barbara, like intrigued me. Because, like I said, I was like, does he still have somewhat feelings for her, or is she just like the personification of evil therein? But
I think both is arguably a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like she said, when she's like, "You put me in this nurse's outfit,"
yeah,
and he's like, "Oh yeah." So I think they both. It's a good idea. Like, is Barbara like his greatest like failure? You know, like it's his something that he is just completely ashamed by, because it's like a stain on him. He was such a good cop, good man, and then his fiance does such horrible, atrocious things, and it's become like a criminal.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get that scene either at the end of this series, or if they kill her off before that. It's just he's gonna be like, "I failed you," and it's all my fault.
I failed you, Anakin. I have failed you.
Ah!
And Barbara's like, "I hate you.
I hate you." All burned up.
Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious. But I like this episode. I mean, there were, like we always say, Gotham's a weird show. And it's weird because it's like a show that the majority of mass media people like, but a lot of hardcore Batman fans do not like. So it's just like, other than you, it's so hard to, like, other than you and then, of course, Jania, it's hard to find anyone else who likes Batman a lot who actually likes this show.
It's just they want to introduce all the villains, but then the whole catch-22 is, well, it's like, well, if Gordon and the cops can handle all these villains, then why do you need a Batman later on?
Yeah, they, like we've said multiple times, there should have been an age jump for Bruce between seasons or something to kind of like just show everything's speeding up, like it's getting out of hand.
Or just get the kid in the gym. I mean, he's probably tall enough by now.
Yeah, for real.
What did you think? I thought it was interesting. Like, easy laid back Harvey Bullock was like even in Jim's face this episode.
Oh, I loved it because he's like, look, you're either in or you're out, man. Stop trying to walk this line, and you're basically using me for information and everything. Just are you in or are you out? I need to do something. Yes, Jim. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
It was a good episode, though. I mean, I'm enjoying this season so far, except I think the Mad Hatter's getting a little oversaturated. And just the whole Penguin Eddie thing is just oddly interesting.
So, yeah. I think it could be the whole love triangle there.
A whole new kind of bromance thing going on.
But I loved you. You had my girlfriend killed.
I did it for us. I did it because I love you. I hate you. No, don't say that, Eddie.
Because like all those like, you know, big shipper fans online are just like, oh, they need to put the two of them together. I'm like, even if it's Gotham, nobody's getting a happy ending here.
Yeah, for real. That's one big thing is nobody gets a happy ending. And also, do we not live in a world where two dudes can be like care about each other and be best friends and have a platonic relationship where they just care about each other like brothers without all of a sudden one being like, hey, I love you more than that.
But especially the bad guys, I mean, you know they're not ending up with anyone in the end.
For real. I mean, go after Barbara. Go after... No, don't go after Fish. But, you know, soon here, everybody's going to be fighting over Ivy when she makes her big debut. 13 going on 30.
Oh, jeez.
I just hope that they do something where her mind kind of, like, expands and
I think they said her mind changed. I think they said her mind changed too with her body, so they got rid of that creepy factor.
So, I mean, it's just lingering there. I was just happy that the guy was actually trying to help her when she showed up and not trying to take advantage of her. I get tired of that trope in everything. So, but anything else you got on this? Any other Batman news other than, okay, I do have something okay. So we live in a world where every little tidbit of information gets put out. And it really is annoying. Like, okay, when Affleck came out and was talking about his movie right now, they're calling it The Batman. It could be, everyone decided that, okay, that is definitely the title. Well, then they just posted that article where someone, was it a friend of a friend of a friend type thing, who's an executive, heard that the script is in trouble for the Batman solo film. And I'm just like, seriously, like, you're running it and blowing it out of proportion. It could be something where it's like, man, I'm having problems with trying to figure out how to properly do this scene, Phil. And you're like, yeah, it is a little troubling. And then you tell someone saying, yeah, we're having a little trouble with this. And then it gets blown up to, oh my gosh, the script is in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not actually reported. It seems like there's so much stuff that happens behind the scenes, but with some of these movies, we know everything. Like Rick, and I cannot pronounce his last name, who left The Flash. Directors change a lot sometimes in movies before in pre-production, but it's only because this is such a big deal that everybody's watching that we know every beat of it.
And it's like, you know, don't judge a product before it's finished. You don't know, you know, what's going to get added, who's going to get added. Things can change.
I mean, it wasn't like when Jon Favreau left Iron Man or when Joss Whedon left. It wasn't like, oh my God, Marvel's in trouble. You know, they're still doing fine. I think Marvel's doing a little too fine, but that's a whole other conversation because I think that people are just blinded that Marvel does no wrong. But anyways, I just hate that like they just one little thing people just roll with like, oh my god, this movie's so much in trouble. It's like they want DC to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid people in the internet.
Hey, don't get me started on the internet. Well, that's like the thing. I even heard like I guess there was a few reviews that were saying Doctor Strange wasn't good, but meanwhile, everyone I've heard who's gone already said they love it.
Yeah. Okay. I read. I'm friends with Mike Carlin on Facebook, and he said and I'm paraphrasing real quick. Basically, that it was good, but he's like, he says it doesn't need the 98% on Rotten Tomatoes and everything that it has. Mm-hmm. And I can agree with that just because, like Ant-Man was okay. Like I enjoyed it, but I thought it was like the safest Marvel film, and it felt like almost like a repeat of Iron Man. But it got such high praise on Rotten Tomatoes and everything, and that's why I just don't trust those type of rating systems anymore because it was good. But have I revisited Ant-Man? I've watched it once since it came out. It's okay. It's enjoyable, but it's nothing great.
I think the strength of Marvel is like so many of their movies have like a different flavor. Like the Avengers stuff is like just straight up superhero. You get Guardians of the Galaxy where you get like your space adventure. Ant-Man is like a heist movie. And now Doctor Strange is like your mystical stuff.
Which is great, and I'm completely okay with that. Like I feel like Ant-Man could have been more of a heist movie. They could have done some more with it, but that's a whole nother topic. We're talking Batman, but my thing is just wait for the product to come out.
Yes.
Just let the behind the scenes stuff happen. Did you know The Wizard of Oz went through 3 or 4 directors before it was finished? And that's like a movie that people love and cherish. You don't always know what's happening. So I'm just saying, just let it breathe, people. Let it breathe.
And just because the director leaves doesn't mean the project's in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I know there's examples, and it's early, of where a director left and someone else came in and made it so much better. But it's just
I can't remember any examples, but there's even stories of like big name actors like passing on movies, and then the movie goes on to be big, and they're like, oh crap, that was good.
Was it Sean Connery passed on being Morpheus in The Matrix because he didn't understand it, and then wishes he had taken it?
There've been so many examples of that. It's just
it's just things that happen. It's just like let it breathe, man. Just give it a chance. My thing is, if Affleck's directing and writing, he wants it to be good. He's a serious filmmaker. He's an Academy Award filmmaker. Argo was good. The Town was great. Gone Baby Gone was good. Those are movies that he directed and helped write and be part and produce. So just give the man his chance. He wants to deliver a good product. Mm-hmm. Can you think of anything else Batman related?
No. Well, all I know is Batman number 10 came out this week, and Nightwing number 8. Nightwing was really good. Dealing with the backstory of the new Raptor and his connection to Dick Grayson's past. Dun, dun,
cool.
Dun.
Don't say too much. I'm a little behind, so I need to get caught up.
Yeah, and then Batman's in the middle of the I Am Suicide storyline where Batman puts together his own Suicide Squad to go after Bane.
Yeah, I mean, weird. But did you know, Phil? I didn't know this, but did you know that Luca and Solomon decided to start their own Justice League? And they didn't invite us
because they dressed like Flash and Batman for Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. They were starting their own Justice League, and I'm like, but wait, where's us? They didn't invite us. So
you were just the sidekick.
I know. Last year I was Batman and Solomon was Robin. This year Solomon was Batman and Daddy was Robin. Next year I'll probably be Alfred.
No.
And then after that I'll be Aunt Harriet. He's gonna keep pushing me down.
This year Luca wanted me to dress exactly like him, so we're both the Flash.
And that's awesome, and that works. Because there's multiple Flashes. I mean, we could go as Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson, Batman and Batman, but Phil.
I was just surprised Batman and Robin 2 years in a row. I'm like, where's the Kryptonian stuff?
Well, it all started. I was working on. I made Solomon a homemade Superboy costume because the Jonathan Kent White Smith suit's really easy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're wondering what I just said, listen to Krypton Report. But we were at Walmart one day, and Solomon is just in love with Batman. He'll say it all the time. And we walked by, and they had one costume in his size, and he just was like, Batman! And was freaking out, and he was all happy and excited. So okay, we're going to get it for him. I'm not going to deny my kid to be happy like this. So, and honestly, I like the costume. I think it's the New 52 style suit. And out of all the people dressed as Batman that I saw, he did well. He looked the best. And because Daddy also gave him a special, longer, better Batman cape.
Nice.
But also, he kept his mask on the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
He takes his hats off or anything else. He has a small Batman Affleck mask, that I got one for him, and he'll hold it up and then he'll hand it to you to put on. But man, I put this on him on the costume, and he just kept it on the whole time. So he was loving it.
You're getting there. They keep the masks on, and
So maybe next year, I wanted to, last year, what I wanted to do is I wanted to dress his stroller up as the pod ship, and have him as baby Kal-El, and I was going to be Jor-El, and Janelle was going to be Lara, and we were going to be sending him to Earth, but we just kind of ran out of time. So we'll get there. We have another kid coming, so we can always do something else. It's just, I mean, I'm cool with dressing up as the Justice League next year, so
awesome.
Maybe next year we'll have to go trick-or-treating or something together.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Oh, yeah.
We could really plan it.
Oh, yeah. So is that it on this one?
I think so. That's all the Batman news and ramblings. For all you Batman 66 fans, the animated film Return of the Cape Crusader came out. And Phil and I will be watching it at some point and talking about it at some point in the future.
As soon as I watch it, yes.
So, that's it.
All right. So, any thoughts on Gotham, on the comics, the Batman movie news, or even what did your child go as this Halloween? Any superheroes? Email us beforethebat@gmail.com. Facebook is Before the Bat, the Gotham Podcast. Twitter is @BeforeTheBatPod. And we're even on Instagram, Before the Bat. So check those out. And Tyler, where can people find you?
You can find me on Krypton Report. You can also find me on line at JTY Patrick, pretty much anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. Gmail, Facebook, Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to discuss any DC or Marvel with me, you can email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I'm @nightwingpdp. Check me out because on Mondays I usually live tweet Gotham when it's brand new. And just check out the other podcasts, Legends of DC, where Tyler and I are both at with a bunch of other people, and I'm all over the Enough Said podcast right now, so check those out. All right, I think that's it. Come back next week, everyone. But until then, same bat time, same bat channel.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Gotham Podcast.